Hey everybody, this is Jared from Simple Guy Gaming, bringing you guys another episode into our Dragon Age series playthrough. We are currently at Ostagar. We're picking up right where we left off last night, and we're going to go ahead and play through the Ostagar storyline. We're not going to do the Konkari Wilds just yet, just because I know if I do that, it'll be like an hour episode, and maybe I'll save the hour episodes for, I'd say the larger stories, like Redcliffe or the Mage Tower, stuff like that, just for the main quests. I will also try to be splitting them up into the different sections, not too much, but I will still be trying to at least make sure that the episodes aren't going too long.
Haven't Grey Wardens asked more than enough of the Circle?
I simply came to deliver a message from the revered mother, Sir Mage. She desires your presence.
What her reverence desires is of no concern to me. I am busy helping the Grey Wardens, by the King's orders, I might add.
Should I have asked her to write a note?
Tell her I will not be harassed in this manner.
Yes, I was harassing you by delivering a message.
Your glibness does you no credit.
Here I thought we were getting along so well. I was even going to name one of my children after you. The Grumpy One.
Enough. I will speak to the woman if I must. Get out of my way, fool.
You know, one good thing about the Blight is how it brings people together.
Alistair is such a good character. Granted, he's not my go-to companion for a lot of the playthroughs. I will be making him the go-to. I usually try to do what I think is best for each mission that I'm doing, and I'll explain that later once we get to the main stories.
It's like a party. We could all stand in a circle and hold hands. That would give the Darkspawn something to think about. Wait, we haven't met, have we? I don't suppose you happen to be another mage. And that makes you Duncan's new recruit, I suppose. Glad to meet you. As the junior member of the Order, I'll be accompanying you when you prepare for the joining. Right, that was the name. So I'm curious. Have you ever actually encountered Darkspawn before? When I fought my first one, I wasn't prepared for how monstrous it was. I can't say I'm looking forward to encountering another. Anyhow, whenever you're ready, let's get back to Duncan. I imagine he's eager to get things started. With the mage, the Circle is here at the King's request, and the Chantry doesn't like that one bit. They just love letting mages know how unwelcome they are, which puts me in a bit of an awkward position. I was once a Templar. Not that that's all Templars do, but yes, the Chantry raised me until Duncan recruited me 6 months ago. I'm sure the revered mother meant it as an insult, sending me as her messenger, and the mage picked right up on that. I never would have agreed to deliver it, but Duncan says we're all to cooperate and get along. Apparently they didn't get the same speech. Davith and Sir Jory are here in the camp. Have you met them? Keep an eye out, maybe we'll see one of them. You do? Huh, that's a switch. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, lead on.
Ah, there we go. Oh, yeah, I forgot we leveled up. Alrighty. We're gonna do a couple more points into cunning. Do one more into strength. Go next. And now we're gonna do the dual weapon sweep. It's one of my favorite skills in the game, just because if you stand in certain spots, you can just kind of and damage a whole bunch of enemies. Same with like the whirlwind. We are going to be trying to get to dual weapon mastery quickly, for the sole fact of I like to be able to use 2 regular sized weapons in my hand. It's just because there are some really cool combos you can do later on. So, alrighty. So, now that we've got Alistair, we're going to go ahead and move on. Real quick, though, I am going to stop just for a second because I need to lower the game volume just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. So, Sir Davith, or Davith, is going to be right around here.
Have you seen an elf running about? Young woman, red hair, carrying a suit of chain. Blast it. Where did she go? That suit better be patched up when she gets back, or by the maker up. No, pardon my manners. My troubles are no concern of yours, I'm sure. I'm the quartermaster. Did you come for supplies? Oh, I'm sure you have better things to do than run errands for me. I can find her myself. Arms and armor, for the most part. It's for the King's men, but you Grey Wardens can buy what you need for a modest price. I also have some, goods on the side I can provide. Strictly off the record, of course. To keep morale up, you understand. Let me know what you'd like.
And this is why I always collect certain things very early on. We're going to go ahead and just get rid of all of this. The maces, sell. This is an excellent way to get some early currency, in personal opinion, because you don't need multiple daggers. I'll keep the great sword only because just a little bit easier later on. We're going to go ahead and get rid of the studded armor, the 2 small shields, just because I don't use them. We'll keep that. We can get rid of that one. Yeah. And then most of this we'll keep too. But let's go ahead and see what he has on this side. Progress, it's okay. Sorry about that. So we've got the cured. We don't have enough money to actually get this, but I mean, you can see that there's a lot of different armors throughout the game, or that you can equip throughout the game. So it's actually pretty exciting once you get into it. So, but we'll go ahead and talk to Sir Davith.
Well, you're not what I thought you'd be. The name's Davith. It's about bloody time you came along. I was beginning to think they'd cooked this ritual up just for our benefit. I happened to be sneaking around camp last night, see, and I heard a couple of Grey Wardens talking. So, I listened in for a bit. I'm thinking they plan to send us into the wilds. Cannibals, beasts, witches, and now Darkspawn. What isn't to be scared of? It's all too secretive for me. Makes my nose twitch.
It's the whole point of being a Grey Warden there, bud.
Like we have a choice. You sound just like the bloody knight. Well, more power to you. Anyway, I expect it's time to get back to Duncan. That's where I'll be if you need me for anything.
See, I know he says that he was listening into a couple of Grey Wardens. However, in the game you only meet Alistair and Duncan, which I think is very weird. I think it'd have been cool to see a couple of other Grey Wardens just as like go ahead and click this. Another thing to sell.
Huh. Someone finally comes and talks to the lone prisoner. I don't suppose you've come to sentence me. I don't suppose you have a bit of kindness in you. All I want is food and water. They haven't fed me since I was locked up and I'm starving. Just ask my guard for his. He's still got some dinner. I saw him put it in his coat.
Lucky dog. You Grey Wardens get to ride with the king while I'm left with the drudgery of guarding this deserter. They should have just hanged him. Put his head on a pike as an example. Don't expect it was an enlightening conversation. Did he now? Since nobody sends me nothing to feed him with, the only way we'll get that is if I give him mine. All right, all right. I guess the poor fella could stand to have one meal in his belly before he hangs. Don't know why you care. I had nothing to do with it, though. If anyone asks why he's burping, I'm gonna say it was you. Just so you know.
So? Brought me some food, have you? I'm so hungry I could faint dead away. Because you might want something I don't need. Them circle wizards got a chest they keep things in. Magical things. And I stole the key. That's why I'm here. I got one of them drunk, took his key and tried to sneak to the chest. They assumed I was deserting. I can't use it from here. But I'd trade you for some food and water. I swallowed it. But it's, come back into my possession since then, so to speak. Much obliged. May Andraste herself rain blessings upon you. And, as I mentioned, here's the key. Use it in good health, huh?
Huh. Considering where that came from, let's hope we're not the only ones in good health.
And then we'll talk to Jory.
Greetings. You must be the third recruit we've heard about. Sir Jory is my name.
Again, I'm going to try to make these
where I served as knight
playthroughs a
under
little
the
more
command of
lively
our
because the first couple
You have the
episodes have
bearing
been
of a
kind of
man who knows
slow.
how to fight.
The start of the game
If I may
is very
ask,
slow.
were you a soldier before
Action
you
doesn't
came
really
here?
start coming into much till later. So
Are you a nobleman? I am honored
I'm
be in your
going to
company, my
be
lord.
trying to
I
make it
hope
a little
we're
more
both lucky
lively
enough to
by
eventually join the
talking a little bit
Wardens.
more
Is it
and
not
giving you
thrilling to
guys
be
better
given that
commentary, I
chance?
guess. But again, a lot of the starting game is kind of boring. It doesn't pick up until right after we get, or right until we start the Kankaria Wilds. So,
I fought hard to get here.
hopefully we can pick it up
Impressing
though.
Duncan was not easy.
Let's, I
Tell
mean,
me, has anyone told you what this
a lot of this game
joining
is
ritual
dialogue.
entails? I never heard of such a ritual.
But
I had no idea there
I
were
think
more
it'll
tests
be
after getting
a
recruited.
really fun
I suppose since you're
playthrough.
finally here, I'd best get back to Duncan. I shall see you
Whoa,
there.
his eyes got real big there. Oh, that was funny.
You need to convince them. We've got to run. The Darkspawn are coming. The Grey Wardens will die. The King will die. We'll all die.
We'll
I
all
apologize,
die.
Warden. He's been like this ever since they found him in the wilds. The commander who brought him here didn't seem to think so.
You can feel it, can't you? They taint the land, turn it black and sick. Oh, you can feel it inside. They'll come out of that forest and spread. Like caterpillars covering a tree. They'll swallow us whole.
That's quite enough out of you. You need to calm yourself, my good man.
They were everywhere. I saw them.
And that's the chest that we got the key from. However, we can't get into it because of the Tranquil.
Welcome, young man. I am one of the Tranquil, my friend. I am of the Circle of Magi. But instead of casting spells and reading tomes, I spend my time enchanting. It is a time-consuming process, but invaluable. Enchantment provides the Circle its wealth. Certainly we would not get by on charity. It is the practice of folding magical lyrium into items first practiced by the dwarves. The Tranquil have learned their runes, and we use them to apply a variety of
I think it'd been really cool to see other people know how to do
We create
enchantments
the glow
instead of
lights,
just the
as
dwarves
well as the
and
magic
Tranquil.
staff,
It
or
would have
the
been a really
flame
cool story
blade.
element.
The irony, perhaps, is that it is our very disconnection to our former talents that allows the Tranquil to work with lyrium so. A true mage could not. Allow me to put it this way. Do you know why those with magical talent are feared?
Because magic is powerful and dangerous.
It is dangerous beyond its power. Those with magical talent attract demons and spirits. We can be possessed easily and thus become horrors known as abominations. Even those with minor talents attract hungry spirits. Anyone with the power may learn blood magic from these demons. Hence, we are considered dangerous. This is our curse. Thus, I was made tranquil, stripped of emotions and talent. I am no longer dangerous. You do?
Makes sense.
I feel nothing. As the name suggests, my existence is quite peaceful. I am alive, productive, and no danger to anyone. Surely that is not a terrible thing. Perhaps we may speak of something else. Do you need assistance? Goodbye.
So there's really no way to get him to move.
That course of action is inadvisable.
You have to wait until you're back from the Kankari Wilds, I do believe.
You there, elf. What's your name?
It's Pick, sir.
Go tell Tern Logain that the war party's ready to begin scouting. We'll send word if we find anything amiss.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
So if you catch up to this guy...
Hello? I'm sorry, is there something you needed?
You can
I deliver messages around the camp.
get a really cool early game item.
Then what is... Oh, wait. Are you the one I'm supposed to give Sir Garland's sword to? Because I think the smith's done with it. Oh, that's such a relief. You really saved me from the switch for sure. I'd best get back to my duties again before I get in more trouble.
Again, a really cool early game item. Because you come over here. Sir Garland's sword. It is on the same level as our family sword. The family sword does 1 extra damage, so instead of it being 7.7 damage, it's actually 8.7, and then plus 4 attack. So, I always like to keep the family sword on. However, Alistair, I always like to give him Sir Garland's sword, because the Warden's sword has no benefits. This one does. Plus, it's got the physical resistance, which, him being a warrior that uses a shield, is perfect for him. The Shield of High Ever, we can also give it to him as well, which gives him another +4 to attack. There's just a lot of really cool things that we can give Alistair early on to make him a little bit better in the early game. And then, of course, the Tern Logain. And then we can always talk to the King's Guard over here.
Greetings. King Kalen is not in his tent right now? I suppose I do, though he's spending most of his time with the Grey Wardens. He rides with them wherever they go, in fact. Tern Logain sees the king whenever he can and argues with him over coming battles, but the king just waves him off. The king wants to end the Blight with a single huge battle the bards will sing of for centuries. Do you think that's possible? That's how the Tern feels. He'll do what the king wants in the end, though. The king thought it was funny the Tern called him reckless, and they fought about the queen. She's the Tern's daughter. He wasn't happy about something she did or the king did, I'm not sure. I probably shouldn't discuss it. As you wish.
And of course you can always come talk to the Logain's Guard.
He's inside, but I don't think it's my place to discuss his activities. I suppose, as long as we...
This is a lot of stuff you can find out.
The king have been arguing for days.
So long as you're exploring, you can find a lot of really cool stuff. And that's why I always recommend in RPGs to explore. You never know what you're going to find. It's always great to explore in games where exploration is recommended, because early game items, stuff like that.
I suppose you have a message for him. Hold on then.
But you also get to meet Logain early on if you do this.
Yes, what is it? Oh, you're Duncan's new Grey Warden, I assume.
Kaelin's fascination with the Wardens goes beyond the ordinary. Are you aware his father brought your order back to Ferelden? The Wardens are impressive, but not as relevant as Kaelin thinks. You look familiar. Have I seen you at the Landsmeet? The King told me of his promise. I'm certain he has every intention of following it through. I don't suppose you'll be riding into the thick of battle with the rest of your fellows, will you? Here for the glory, huh? Fair enough. Now I must return to my task. Pray that our king proves amenable to wisdom, if you're the praying sort. He is Marik's son, and the leader of my beloved Ferelden, and a very young man. I try to keep that in mind, as should you.
Always great to meet the characters. Again, a lot of early things that you can do. That if you don't explore, you're not gonna be able to find a lot of this stuff, and it's just great to see early dialogue and get a feel for like what's gonna be coming up in the game. Like if you noticed, Teyrn Loghain didn't ask about our father. Like he was just like, oh yeah, I heard about your father's promise, hopefully he follows through. You know, just kind of brushes it off. It's great to see early signs of like the story threads that are coming into the story in later parts. And so it's just a fantastic thing to do. That's which is why again always recommend exploring when you can, because there's just so much that you can find. And you know, because this game is so, you know, quote unquote big, you could explore it multiple ways and still not find every tiny little thing, like the Magi encampment. And however, you can also meet Wynne early on,
young man.
you know,
You are Duncan's
and
newest recruit,
this
are you not?
leads to dialogue in the later
You
parts of
should
the
be
game.
proud. Allow
So
me to introduce myself. I am Wynne, one of the mages summoned by the king. Well met, and good luck to you on the battlefield. To us all, in fact. Not precisely. The Grey Wardens will be on the front lines, not the mages. Still, we have our parts to play. To defeat the Darkspawn, we have to work together. It's not an idea everyone seems able to grasp. Some. Do you? Do you know about the connection between them and the Fade, for example? Anytime your spirit leaves your earthly body, whether it's to dream or to die, it passes into the realm we call the Fade. It's home to many spirits, some benevolent, others far less so. At the heart of the Fade lies the Black City.
The Black City.
Some say the Black City was once the seat of the Maker. But when the mages from the Tevinter Imperium found a way into the city, it was tainted with their sin. That taint transformed those men, turning them into twisted reflections of their own hearts. And the Maker cast them back to the Earth, where they became the first Darkspawn. At least that's what the Chant of Light says. It may be allegory, meant to teach us that our own evil causes human suffering. Or it may be true. It is as good an explanation as any for now. Yes, occasionally it's wise to contemplate one's actions. But I'm certain Duncan has more for you to do than talk to me.
Alrighty. So now that we've talked to everyone essentially through the game, we're gonna go ahead or into this level, and we're gonna go ahead and stop the game right here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to pip to doodly do, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later on. Peace.